Hey Bre, so this is the spread that I got for you. Okay? So this card is the Will Bre and Omari get back together. Then this is showing me a little bit about you, Bre. Then this is showing me a little bit about your partner, Omari. Then this is the positive card actually of the relationship. And then this is going to be the challenges of the relationship. And then this card right here is something that you need to focus on. So I'm about to interpret these cards, but this is the reading that I got for you. Okay? Alright, hey Bre. So once again, this is the first card that I got about you. This is the Magician. Okay. To me, this is saying that you have a lot of power. The Magician card is a card about making things happen, having the power to manifest things. The Magician uses all the elements, uses fire, water, air, earth to create and manifest something into reality. So basically, with your thoughts, when you think things, when you meditate on things and want things to come true, you have the power to do that. You're a very, powerful magician. Also, it seems as if that you're a good communicator is what I'm also seeing as well, that you can communicate well. The magician is very good at communication. So you have a spark of energy. This card, it has fireworks in it. It has, a person kind of like jumping in midair at the sunset. There's a lot of like bursting energy. So I feel like you have something within you that is very, very powerful, and I hope that you know that already. But basically, that there's a big spark in you. There's a lot of magic that you can do within yourself. And when I say magic, it doesn't mean necessarily like tarot cards or anything like that, but even just like saying, I'm going to go into this interview and I'm going to get this job, and then boom, you get this job. You speak things into existence. So you have a very good way of making your thoughts manifest into reality, communicating things and making it come out and flow into the reality. Okay? All right. So to know a little bit about Omari, I got the Seven of Crystals. Okay, so Seven of Crystals says dullness here, and from what I see is that maybe this person, Omari, is maybe not satisfied. When I think about, he's the Sagittarius. When I think about Sagittarius, number one, there's more to a person than their sun sign, right? So the person has a moon sign, an ascendant sign, and then a lot of other planets in different areas of their life. But I just feel that he's not quite satisfied. He's a little bit on the stale side in his life. Not that he himself is stale, but just that when I think of a Sagittarius, I think of that they want, a bit of excitement, a bit of movement to happen. And I feel like he's at a place of stuckness, I actually want to read a little bit about that. So the Seven of Crystals. The Seven of Crystals says, the mind, like the crystal, can be rock heavy, dense, and opaque. Dullness of mind is the side of your mentality that lacks curiosity, is slow moving, set in its ways, incapable of flights of imagination, and closed to outside ideas and inspiration. Dullness is your state of mind when you feel blocked. Open up, look around, be curious. Dullness is also the mind's safety value. It shuts down your thinking when you are fatigued and confused. Relax your brain, and dullness can be very down-to-earth, practical thinking. So it seems to me that Omari is a little bit more practical. I feel like he's a little bit blocked at the moment, and that he can use some things to help him move forward, because he can definitely do that. I mean, you create your every single day, you can create new opportunities for yourself, so you have control of your destiny. So he just needs a little push in that right direction to kind of be more open to other things in his life. And I think that once he opens up his mind, opens up that door, then he'll feel more happier, feel more engaged, you know. So right now, you know, I'm just getting that down to earth practical thinking, maybe a little bit blocked, but he needs to just be a bit more curious and move forward a bit more. He's a bit slow in his movements, okay? All right, and just to talk one more time, the magician symbolizes talent. What else? Power, ability to conceptualize through logos or the word. Your magic wand is your perception, so you can think. I think that you're a bit more open in this relationship in terms of you can push for things to happen, and he's kind of a little bit behind, and that's something that you can help each other out. Maybe you're a bit going too much, and he can kind of slow you down and be like, wait, let's think about things. And maybe he's a bit too slow and not taking a risk, and you're the one that's saying, we have the power, we can do this, right? So that's what I got for the two of you. Now, the positive card of this relationship, I got disappointment, the 5 of Cups. I actually would like to read that. Okay, disappointment, the 5 of Cups. So disappointment is a combination of disillusionment and shattered dreams following unfulfilled expectations that you were highly attached to emotionally. The resultant emptiness generates anger, sorrow, fear, and stagnation, depression. Disappointment is a lesson about learning to live in the present reality rather than in a future dream world. This coming down to earth is symbolized by the centered, earthen, covered jars. So let go of your emotional attachments and recognize a higher cosmic purpose for the way things work out. Accept. Disappointment is an appointment not met. Let go. Okay. I'll be really, really honest with you right now. Reading this is the positive card of the relationship. I feel like the universe is saying it ended and it was good that it ended. Move forward, move on to new things. I feel that maybe it was attachment, and it brought with it disappointment when things ended, however it ended. But I feel that the universe is just saying that was the good thing about it. You learn a lot about yourself and about your partner, and you learn what you want and what you don't want. And I feel that this relationship, it had its good moments, as does everything does. But I feel that the universe is saying that, it had its time, and now it's time to move forward, to see what else is out there, to just keep mingling and, figure out yourself more and what you want and what he needs and all that other stuff. So I see this, it's not like a bad card. It's just saying that everything has its time, and you learned, and now it's time to just move on and create some more memories, create some more adventures. Okay. So the challenge of the relationship was negativity, the 5 of Crystals. Okay. So was there some negative attitude, a negative kind of demeanor in the relationship? It says the mind has the cut-in properties of the crystal. Your mental sharpness can cut down, slay, and negate. Like the broken crystal, your negative mind is defeatist and critical. You interpret events negatively, seeing tornadoes, valleys, floods, and quakes everywhere. Your negativity creates confusion, narrow-mindedness, dullness, and delusion. But the same negative mind gives you the very ability to slay your negativity. Using the positive side of negativity, say no to the self-defeating inner critic, and learn to say no when your discriminating intelligence appropriately judges so. Okay. So basically, I feel that the challenges of the relationship was that there was some negativity in it. Maybe someone, I'm assuming that it was more of on Omari's side, that it was more a negative side of thinking. There was just, it seems, a negative vibe in the relationship. Um, Negativity was a big thing. Could be narrow-mindedness, dullness, and delusion. Being critical about things, you know what I mean? So yeah, I'm sure it speaks to you that that was the challenges. That was something that, you know, you guys had to work on more. Something that was just very challenging in the relationship. It was just the negative energy that kind of surrounded it in different areas. Okay. So for your oracle card, you've got the cave, sanctuary. Okay. So before I read that, to me this is saying that you need to focus on yourself. It's kind of like an isolation, more of like your safe place. Like you need to find that sanctuary, go into that cave and kind of do some work on yourself. I think a lot of us, that's one of the things that we all need to work on, more self-improvement, to bring our positivity up, to bring our value of ourselves up, so that we can manifest some things into our life. You are a magician. As I said, you have the power to kind of bring things to you, but are you bringing the right things to you? That's the thing. So I think that you need to kind of go to your woman cave and find that sanctuary, a place where you can dive deep into who you are. You can meditate a bit more. You can do some creative things that will allow your power to come through more, but it's something that you need to look into. So I'll read this. There is a quiet, still place inside of you that will always be available as a sanctuary. Yet finding such a place in the natural world will enhance and complement this internal place of peace. Whether it is a cave, meadow, forest, seashore, or any other setting in nature, this is where you can see, hear, and feel the presence of the Creator in your surroundings. Let it become a temple for your heart and soul. Okay, so it's basically saying kind of get away from technology and allow yourself to discover a perfect place in nature where you can just be you. Okay, it'll help you bridge the connection between the internal and the external, which will help you to have a spiritual communion. Okay, so basically it's saying in today's world you need to be very critical and set aside time for some sanctuary. So you need to find that quiet time in you. It needs to be just you. You need to focus on what you need, what you want out of relationship. You know, you want someone who can manifest with you, who can create with you, who can support you, who can help you reach your goals, and you need to do the same for the other person. Okay, so I'm going to flip this card now. This was the card. I looked at everything else. This was the card that said, will Bre get back with her ex Omari? And this is what we're going to get. The Hierophant. Okay, to me, the Hierophant is not like, I don't consider these cards negative or kind of positive. They're all just like learning tools. This particular card is saying that there's a kind of a higher lesson to all of this. And I'm personally thinking that number one, you can create what you want to create. So if you pursue Omari, if you're like, yeah, let's get back together, then, you know, it can happen, right? But the thing we have to be more conscious about things and say, do we want it to happen? Because you can create it, you can make it happen. But the thing is that the best path to go to? And I feel like this card is saying that there's a higher power that's saying there needs to be some lessons learned. There needs to be some guidance, some mentorship, some kind of coming into yourself a bit more. So I feel that you should think about the decision more. okay? Because you have all the power. You and Omari can create something, but it can be very challenging. So I feel like the cards have said that, you know, it's time to just let go of the past and move towards, you know, more advancement in your spirituality. I think that's the one thing that, you know, Spirit wants us all to do, to just try and become more connected to spirit, to the earth, to nature, because when you connect more, you can have a more symbiotic relationship. You can see the synchronism of life, and you can make decisions based on that. So I feel like right now it's not necessarily the best time to do that. I think that you should work more on yourself. That's my personal opinion. And from the cards, I feel that there was not as much gelling that could be. So if you guys do decide to get into a relationship again, there's going to be some challenges that you need to work on. You need to try and make this more positive. Try and make more power into this. Try and change your perceptions about things, both of you, and more so on his side. But I feel that, you know, everything had its time, and right now it's time for you to find yourself a bit more, because there's some lessons, there's some things that you need to learn. And I'll just read that for you. So the Hierophant symbolizes the law of life mastery. Be like a child, learning through the tests of life and growing through experience into full enlightenment. So be a guiding hand, a teacher of others. Clear the way for others to the deep and infinite source of life. Okay. So just to clarify on this a bit more, I feel that in the relationship, you are going to have to be the guide, the teacher in a relationship in order for things to transcend higher. But if he is not receptive, or if you don't feel like teaching, then there's going to be a lot more challenges to come about. So Bre, basically I'm giving you all the cards, I'm showing you all that it is here, and now it's up to you to kind of make a decision if you want to make yourself open for you guys to be together again. The cards didn't necessarily say yes or no, but it did state the challenges that you will have, the different aspects of both of you, and just that, you know, there's some mastery that needs to happen. There's some learning that needs to be for both of you. And if you guys cannot do it together, then you need to take some time apart and grow apart from each other. Okay? Ooh, all right. So I want to thank you once again for messaging me. I really appreciate that, and I hope that this reading resonates with you. And if you have any other questions, you can, of course, message me on Instagram, message me on my Gmail, and I can go into the cards even more. Okay? So thank you again. All right, Bre? So I'll let you see the cards one more time.